So what we're going to do now is break down those ripple effects for you further, telling you more about how the shock waves from the West Asia war are spreading far beyond the region and impacting you, millions of households. What started out as a geopolitical flashpoint in the region is now making its presence felt in a way into an energy crisis. Now, the world's most critical oil supply routes are under strain, and as the oil supplies get squeezed, the impact is naturally being felt on the streets, in homes, at fuel stations around the world. So let's just take a closer look and tell you more about how different parts of the world are being impacted. We are starting off from how Asia to Africa, from South America to the Pacific and South Asia, the oil supply crunch is now a global story. So let's take a look at how the crisis is unfolding. You can see how the fears of fuel shortages, of course, that have been talked about are playing out country by country. In New Zealand, for example, households are feeling the pinch as fuel costs are surging. Let's just move on now. Cambodia, petrol shortages have led to long queues. Chile also witnessing the impact, seeing a rush at petrol pumps as people try to beat the impending price hikes. So that's the sentiment in a way on the ground, as you can see. Let's also talk about what the situation is looking like in China, where fuel stations in Beijing are packed with consumers bracing for what lies ahead, for bracing also for the impact. In India, meanwhile, scenes of long queues have been surfacing in Hyderabad, even as authorities try to calm the shortage fears. Also in Japan, the government is preparing to release strategic oil reserves to stabilize the supply. And in the Philippines, let's just move on to the Philippines for now. The situation there also escalating to what can be called an energy emergency. Now, these, of course, are not isolated incidents like we just pointed out. They are a part of a larger global disruption. So it's not just systems that are suffering. It's people, households who are being impacted. Let's just play out for you some of these voices, how ordinary citizens around the world are reacting to this oil crunch.
This is hitting us very hard. We depend on fuel, and we are going to do our best to make sure this price hike does not get passed on to the parents, because things are already tough enough as it is.
Well, it's too high. Yeah, you see what I'm running, it costs a fortune. But yeah, I guess I have to start just not driving around so much. So yeah, it's going up 10, 20 cents a day at least. It's yeah, it's crazy.
For a transportation service worker like me, I want the war in the Middle East to end soon so that the price of gas goes down to normal and we can do business as usual.
And the thing is, from transport workers in Chile to residents in New Zealand and Cambodia, the rising costs, longer waits, the growing uncertainty is just about everywhere. Let's also break down for you what's driving this crisis. The global oil markets, of course, are in turmoil, and according to the International Energy Agency, the world is facing one of the largest supply disruptions in history. Global oil supply could drop by as much as 8 million barrels per day. That's the impact that we are talking about. Now, at the same time, Gulf countries are being forced to cut production by nearly 10 million barrels per day. Not because they want to, of course, but because they simply cannot export it. And with key routes blocked, storage filling up, and logistics breaking down, production itself is being scaled back. And the impact is uneven, but also widespread. Here's a look at who is being hit the hardest and how governments are responding. Let's just zoom into Southeast Asia for now. Countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia are already under strain. Governments also, in fact, have declared national emergencies. They've ordered remote work, even shutting down fuel pumps in some parts. On to South Asia now. Let's just shift focus. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan taking strict measures from 4-day work weeks to bans on fuel sales in plastic containers, which is aimed at preventing hoarding, basically. So that's what things are looking like in that region. Let's just shift gears and move to East Asia. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, tapping into strategic reserves, while also introducing domestic price caps in order to protect the consumers. In Africa, countries like Egypt, Kenya, resorting to early closures of malls and restaurants, along with export restrictions and fuel rationing. So those are the kind of measures that are being taken there. So from emergency declarations to rationing to price controls, the global response is intensifying due to the massive stress on supply chains, economies being under pressure, everyday life being impacted. And as the crisis deepens, one thing remains clear: what happens in this region is now impacting the entire world. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.